Just 2 days after the fall of former President Bashar al-Assad, Israel launched a sweeping offensive across Syria. It seized the entire Golan Heights, carried out about 350 airstrikes, and it destroyed about 80% of Syrian army's capabilities. The Golan Heights is an elevated plateau that sits between the two countries. Israel captured the Golan Heights during the Six-Day War in 1967, until a treaty established a UN-patrolled buffer zone in 1974. It is still internationally, however, recognized as part of Syria. When the Assad government fell, Israel claimed that the treaty between the two countries does not hold anymore.
This agreement held for 50 years. Last night it collapsed. The Syrian army abandoned its positions. We gave the Israeli army the order to take over these positions to ensure that no hostile force embeds itself right next to the border of Israel.
It decided to seize the rest of the Golan Heights.
We are continuing to see Israeli movements and bombardments into Syrian territory. This needs to stop.
Shortly after, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the Golan and announced that Israel would expand its settlements there, signaling that it intended to tighten its control on the occupied territory. Israel has justified these strikes by saying that many of the Assad regime's weapon deposit now have fallen under the control of a group led by a man who was previously associated with ISIS and al-Qaeda. This man is called Ahmed al-Sharaa. He's now Syria's new interim president, and previously the head of the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. This group has since been leading the formation of Syria's new government. Al-Sharaa has spent part of the last decade attempting to shed his reputation as an extremist. He also cut his organization's ties with al-Qaeda in 2016.
I was a young man then, and I had a particular mindset. So I went to Iraq and worked with various different groups.
But this has not persuaded Israeli leaders, who have continued months-long military operations and airstrikes across Syria. Israeli officials are also claiming that they're trying to protect the Druze minority from the new government. Druze are a religious minority that lives on both sides of the border. However, many Druze leaders have rejected the outreach efforts done by Israel.
تريد إسرائيل أن تستخدم القبائل والطوائف والمذاهب لمصلحتها. تريد تفتيت المنطقة.
Israel even launched what it called a warning shot, which was in the form of an airstrike near Syria's presidential palace.
Syria has condemned an Israeli missile strike on Damascus, describing it as an attempt to destabilize the country.
Syria's new government fears that Israel is using local allies and proxies to expand its influence, undermining their efforts to regain control and escalating a long-running standoff between the two countries.